If I were to typify an early event, I'd just say go down to see your average local weekend autocross at probably a metro area. The old Mid-America Raceway, which no longer exists, at least for road racing purposes. They set up a long, almost mile-long course which ran backwards on the track from turn 7 to turn 1. And then as an afterthought, someone said, gee, wouldn't it be nice to have a second course? And so they set up a course on the drag strip. One course ran about 2 minutes, the other ran about 35 seconds. Second event was at Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, Lake Geneva Raceway. It was basically an oval track with a drag strip that ran up the middle of the oval. Remember that one? It's 1975, the first time we ran in Salina. 76 was Ohio Valley region, did theirs in Columbus. Ohio State Fairgrounds, they were on access roads. It was basically a series of varying slaloms up and down fairly narrow roads. 77, Texas and Houston regions got together. You had courses that looked very similar to today's national courses. They used a lot of the lot. 82 was funny, 10th anniversary. And Chicago region bid again. And everybody said, let's go to the big city and have a really good time for our 10th anniversary. And what we found in Chicago, first of all, they actually put on a hell of an event. And it was the only event put on a true parking lot. Marriott's Great America Amusement Park. The problem with Chicago is, as soon as we drove out of that parking lot, we just became part of the traffic. We were absolutely no effect at all, and everybody said, boy, last year in Salina was cool. We were big fish in a little pond. And it came back to Kansas and stayed here for another 25 years or so. 82 to 84 was Pirelli tires. There it began. Here came the Pirellis. People thought the Pirelli tires were pretty good. Pirelli as a sponsor didn't support the driver very much. I mean, they were never here with a truck or a load of tires or something like that. Right behind them came Yokohama, who did show up with tire trucks and tires on the truck and really good stuff to run on. Everybody had to have a Yokohama, by golly. Yokohama was the sponsor for 8 years, which up to that time was the longest sponsorship we had. And that was the point at which tires, stock class tires especially, really became a key thing. Some of the tire companies began advertising their autocross champions in magazines other than sports car. How to these manufacturers, and we're talking major manufacturers, found it to their benefit to promote this sport as something that really illustrates what their tires can do. But 704 was as big as we could get, and what was happening was we were running out of paddock space. The course area was what it was, and the course area was perfectly adequate. We were getting good courses there, but we were out of places to park people. First one at Forbes Field was 762, and we would have had a hard time parking 762 cars. The last one at Forbes was 1,112. By this time, Forbes had broken up into something so bad that I remember the last 2 or 3 north courses we ran were almost the same course year to year, because that was the path through the unbroken concrete. We tried Heartland Park, and what we found there was, however much we loved Topeka, the site just wasn't big enough to accommodate what we wanted to do with it. I described it as probably, personally, one of the most amazing experiences I've ever gone through. Like I say, we officially fell off to 954, and what I count there, this needs to point it out, are starters. I don't count DNS. Average year early on, or back up to about that time, an event would have about 2 dozen DNS. 9/11 in 2001, 135. And yet, it was a year when the solo community came together like you've never seen before. We found a site so big that we could have all the paddock room in the world we wanted. And we've already expanded. You probably realize we've expanded north on that thing just of what we're spreading to. We put a practice course in, for crying out loud, which was unthinkable anywhere else we've been. And we've kind of figured out that there is room yet that if we wanted to, we could do a 3-course nationals.